Without further ado, I'm pleased to present ABM's webinar titled Electrostatic Spraying and introduce to you the speaker for today. So Philip Chu, he is born and raised in the beautiful island of Oahu. Philip is a graduate of the University of Hawaii at Manoa with a bachelor's degree in communications and his master's degree in communications, with an emphasis on social media, tourism, and intercultural relations. Philip first started with ABM in 2009 as a parking booth attendant. Working his way up to supervisor, Philip opened for the site starting at 4:30 in the morning. After opening operations were complete, Philip would attend his college classes in the mid-morning and return to work in the afternoon. Following Philip's graduation with his master's, he received the title of operations manager. Philip assists Stanton in Guam for ABM's Guam operations, as well as composes bids for proposals for ABM in Hawaii. Philip is certified level 2 disinfection specialist and is also certified with the electrostatic sprayer. Thank you, Philip. Take it away.
Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate such a warm introduction. For starters, I just want to say that I'd like to keep everything as open as possible. So if you do have any questions, please make sure to leave it in the chat and we'll answer them as soon as we can. But if we're going to get started, let's get started. So I brought with me today my two friends. We have the big one, which is actually the small one, if you will. This is the backpack protective sprayer. We use this for heavy jobs in big, wide open areas. So any areas that are quite huge, we would use this. And then for the other one, we have the handheld, which is a cordless. It's a little bit smaller. In our Guam operation, Stanton uses this with his team out there, and it is quite effective as well. So a lot of people kind of give me the question, what is ESS? Is it an apparatus? Is it a service? Well, it's both, to be honest. ESSing is an apparatus, as you can see here, with the backpack sprayer, as well as a cordless sprayer. And it's also a service. At ABM, we love to make sure that our clients are safe. We love to make sure that they're happy and they are pleased with our service. Having said that, we want to be on the leading edge of everything. So we try our best. We go through all the different researches. We do all the different practices as well as trainings. In order to become a disinfection specialist too, that comes with hours of training. And between all of us here at ABM, we have 4 people who are disinfection specialist agents at level 2. So what that means is we understand what it takes for enhanced cleaning procedures. Usually what we would do, say a site, for instance, would like our enhanced cleaning procedures, we would grab 2 teams. The first team would go in, do enhanced cleaning, make sure we use everything CDC approved and EPA approved, which means that all the reports and whatnot are legitimate, 100%. Other than that, sometimes people tend to use chemicals that may not be EPA approved. They don't have the quite necessary legitimate reports, which is bad. We like to do our due diligence to make sure that we have those proper chemicals, such as the pure tabs. So in addition to our training, we have to make sure that we have correct dilution ratios, because anybody, and I do mean anybody, can go in with a fogging machine and dump a whole load of Clorox in it and mix it with water. That is very, very bad, of course. But say, for instance, you do understand the proper chemicals and you make it a little bit strong because you want to kill things. And who wouldn't want to kill bacteria, and especially COVID being a celebrity of this time? That is a wonderful thing. However, what you need to think about is the surfaces. What exactly are you ESS spraying? Is there leather? Is it faux leather? Is it pleather? Is the tables in the office coal? Is it whatever it might be, carpet? You don't want to bleach them out. And with these chemicals, it's very easy to do. So what we try to do is we pay attention. We like to do the walkthrough first. We like to interview and question our client as to what kind of service they're looking for. If they want us to go through it and clean it properly, we'll figure out what kind of materials are in the office. And then we can properly dissect and create proper dilution ratios. So having said that, with these pure tabs, there are different kinds of strengths. There's a bigger strength and then there's a smaller strength. These ones are at about 13.1 grams. So these are really, really big. We use these for big environments. And as always, we can always break them down and properly dilute them as necessary. Does anybody have questions so far? No, perfect, okay, we're doing good. So Protexis is the name of our units that we use. We love to use them at different areas. We got to play around with it in our different offices as well, and some of our clients got an opportunity to use them and see them in action, which we're very proud and happy to introduce to them. And a lot of them seem to like it, and we're in talks with them right now about services. So other than that, ESS is very simple. What we essentially do is, with these units, they have a battery, and of course they charge whatever particles and solutions that we have, and it allows the solution to stick to the surface. It's called wraparound technology. So say for instance, I put this sprayer up right here. I shoot my ESS sprayer right at it. It'll actually go around and it'll hug it and wrap around whatever surface is there, and it'll stick and hold to it. This provides maximum kill time. Kill time is the time deemed necessary for a chemical or product to kill whatever bacteria or virus, whatever your target is. So with having this tool, it makes it a lot much easier for us to go through an environment, go through a room, and just knock it out and disinfect it. So other than that, it's quite a simple system if you know what you're doing. And thankfully, we know what we're doing. We've been through the training. We started at 4 in the morning for trainings with conference calls and whatnot, and we are ready to serve the public. So does anybody have any questions? I know I kind of breezed through that rather quickly, but I just wanted to make sure we get all the information out on the board as fast as possible and as efficient as possible so that you folks may question me, and we'll go from there. How often does ESS need to be done? Well, we like to do it every day if necessary, because say for instance, we just go through an entire office. We ESS it, enhanced cleaning, of course, reverse order, enhanced clean and ESS. We do that, and say for instance, someone comes in, has COVID. That room is no longer decontaminated or disinfected. So we'd come back in and provide that service. Yes, we did briefly, but I'm very happy to bring back that point about, did you talk about how the sprayer works? Sorry, I was late. So what these sprayers do is they are electrified, if you will. What we'll do is this unit, it's the easiest one. I apologize. I know I'm not using the backpack sprayer, but this unit is just so much easier to handle rather than strapping on a big backpack. So all of these units have these batteries. We plug them in, really simple, just like a power tool, just like that. And you turn it on, hit the trigger, and go. How it works is we utilize the battery, and it charges the solution. And with that solution being charged, it'll wrap around and it'll stick, kind of like static cling. And it'll stick to whatever surface is there. And with that sticking, if you will, it provides the perfect allotment time for kill time. So the kill time is what the time it takes for a chemical to kill whatever bacteria or virus is being targeted. No, I just answered those. Sorry, does anybody have any more questions? The floor is wide open. What is the reach of the ESS? It's actually quite far, if you will. I'd say about maybe 2 feet, give or take. You want to make sure that it has, because it produces a very fine mist. And when that mist is that fine, it doesn't cast as far, but the wind can still take it. So say for instance, you have, we're gonna use this for kind of spatial awareness. You kind of want to be, is that in camera? That's in camera. You kind of want to be like right around here. And you can just go one zoop, and it's done. It's that quick, literally. You can go zoop, zoop, and then what that does is, this behind, it'll wrap around as well as go over. Thank you for the questions, by the way. So keep them coming. Let's continue. Yeah. Okay. So one of the questions from inside our boardroom was asked about how can people receive this service? What do they need to do? So one of our operations managers is Arlene Pacheco. She is also here with me in the room, and her email is arlene.pacheco@abm.com. And just reference this event, and she'll know exactly what to do. We have another question coming in. Is ESS for one-time use or only for daily reoccurring applications? We can do it however the client would like. It is our suggestion to do it daily, and we can do it at their convenience. Usually what we would do is come in when nobody is there, wipe down the handles, do all the enhanced cleaning procedures, and then team 2 would come in with the ESS and disinfect the area. What types of, ooh, I like these questions. Keep them coming. What types of customers are you seeing use your service? As far as the types of customers and clientele, everyone. But presently, what we're doing right now, and one of our clients who is very happy with us is United Airlines in Guam. So I help Stanton along with that, and our teams go in. First team goes in, they pull all the blankets and whatnot, and we make sure that everything is dressed right, safety card first, and then team 2 and 3s go in, and then they do the cleaning, and then the ESS is final. And United Airlines really appreciates that, and so far we've been having good results, knock on wood. Okay, next question. How soon can you enter the room after ESS has been applied? That is a very good question. What we like to do is make sure that nobody is in the room, because this does require at least an N95 PPE protection face mask. And we also like to use eyes as well, or excuse me, glasses, and long sleeves, because we don't want any of this to get on anybody. Of course, it's a cleaning chemical. So with that being said, I would say within 15, maybe less, play it safe is about an hour. You want to make sure that you keep the room like sterile, if you will.
You're reading my, I can help you out with this one. I know there's like a laundry list now. How do you prepare the office for retail? I can see you kind of like, yeah, I'll just help out. How do you prepare the office or retail space to clean?
How do you prepare the office? Okay, so this comes into place with our ABM janitorial side. So what they do is usually the first team will go in, depending upon what the client wants, first and foremost. They tell us what kind of procedures they want, and we are more than happy to oblige. So say, for instance, there is a potential, someone comes in with a cough and not necessarily positive, but they say, oh, this person has a cough, we would love to have ABM come and conduct enhanced cleaning as well as ESS services. So we would say, of course, let's go through it. So ABM would arrive on site, excuse me. We would have the janitorial kind of go through the office, do enhanced cleaning. We would wipe down all the high touch areas, such as door handles, elevator buttons for the floor, the desks, if there's no paper on it. We're really good about just staying away from it if there is paperwork and whatnot, because we don't want to disturb what's on a person's desk. So we'll just, if the desks are clean, and we will advise the client that if the desks are clean, we'll more than be happy to wipe it down. And then team 2 would come in and they would finalize with the ESS spraying.
Okay, no, that's great. Good to know. Is ESS harmful to plants?
Is ESS harmful to plants? I would say yes. So if they would like to have the plants covered, because this is a cleaning chemical and it is also electrically charged. So cleaning chemicals, excuse me, I kind of drifted off frame there. Cleaning chemicals as well as electrostatic are not the best for plants. So if they could cover it, maybe throw like a paper bag on top of it, and then we'll take it off afterwards, or depending upon their instruction. We'll follow whatever our client would like, but we will advise them that if they have plants and whatnot, just put a little covering over it, and if they would like us to remove it, we'd be more than happy to once their services is concluded.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Are there any other solutions that you might use that kind of are, you know, okay for plants, or is it just that one solution?
Unfortunately, our main target goal, and from what everybody has been asking of us, they really want us to just knock out COVID and knock out potential any kind of virus and bacteria. So we haven't really researched enough into a plant-safe solution, but if that person would love to give me their contact information, I'd love to do the research and get back to them.
Okay, no, that's great to know. Is there an odor after treatment?
Yes, unfortunately, there is a slight distinct odor, but if you come back from the pool, it'll smell something similar to that. There's a slight hint of chlorine, so just think of it as if you just went for a dip and came back out.
Got it. Okay. Is this use on a confirmed COVID case or just preventative cleaning? So is it proactive or is it reactive?
It is both. You can use it for preventing, or you can't really use it for preventing, because if a person comes in with COVID, the area is no longer safe. However, what happens is after that, we would come in and we would eliminate whatever COVID is there.
Okay, looks like that's all the questions for now.
Okay. So it is my understanding that we have quite some time on here. So if anybody thinks of anything, don't feel rushed. Just come at me a little bit later. Until such time is, I guess we can discuss. I can actually show you a little bit more in depth of this little guy right here. So this little guy is the cordless handheld. It is very, very light. There's really nothing to it. I showed you the battery. So the battery pops out like this. There's a little pull tab right here. So you just pull that down and slide it out. And then there's also the locking mechanism for the tank. So the tank is right here. So you unlock it, pull this down. There we go. And then there's a little straw thing, and the tank. So a lot of people may ask, why do we have such big, pure tabs for such a small tank? Well, we can break them down and then break it in half, put it in here, dilute it with water. Temperature, it is very temperature sensitive as far as how fast the tabs will dilute. A full-size 13.1 milligram tab in cold water will dissolve in about 5 minutes. If you have warm water, 2 to 3 minutes, give or take.
Oh, that's good to know. Philip, you actually have a couple more questions. Are you ready?
Fantastic, hit me.
Okay. Is there a preference of ESS over ULV?
ULV, I believe that's UV lighting. Yeah, ultraviolet lighting. There is no preference. It's just, well, there is preference, of course. UV lighting, we have researched. It is great as long as what you're hitting is right in front. Everything behind the unit, if you will not get hit by UV light unless you kind of, I'm going to use this as a wand, unless you kind of UV over and behind it. But even at that, there are shadows. Anywhere that's a shadow when you're conducting UV light is considered still infected, if you will.
Okay, no, that's good to know. And
sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. Can you talk more about your fees? Like, is it per square foot? Is it time and materials? All that good stuff.
That's a fantastic question. And for this, I would like to bring in Arlene Pacheco. She is our operations manager for janitorial, and she knows this in and out. So Arlene, why don't you come over here and help me out for a quick second? Nicole, I'm sorry, could you please repeat the question for Arlene?
Oh yeah, sure. So can you talk more about your fees? Is it like per square foot or is it time and materials? How do you figure out the cost?
It'll be by square footage.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Does ESS leave a residue?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, sounds good. That's all the questions I have right now. So if you want to discuss more about your products, that would be great.
Okay, that's great. So I think another question that might be hopping up soon is, excuse me, let me turn this around, is what kind of chemicals do we use for our enhanced cleaning procedures? What do we use for wiping down? So like I said, all our chemicals are EPA and CDC approved. We all have the reports to back them up as well. We use many different chemicals, but my personal favorite chemical, I know it's kind of funny, my personal favorite chemical, but my personal favorite chemical is Virex 2. This is hospital grade and we use this daily. It is wonderful. We actually have a bottle in the office. Whenever we have deliveries or guests come, we make sure everything is wiped down properly beforehand as well as after. So, question.
Yes, okay. If needed, how quick can you commerce service? We receive mostly the same day and night requests.
We can do that as well.
So basically you're 24/7.
Yes, we are operating 24/7. We, I guess, we also operate on Guam time as well. So we're all around the time zones.
And what's the turnaround time? So if someone gives you a call, how fast can you get on site, or does it depend on the location?
It really depends on the location. Say for instance, all our gear, we're at Airport Center, so it would be there. And so wherever we're at, we would have to travel to Airport Center, and then wherever the location is. We don't want to quote an hour for us to get to Airport Center and to the site, and the site is in Makakila. That would be rather far.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, let's see. Looks like that's all the questions right now, but you can continue on with your product. Oh wait, we got one more. What is the price per square foot? So you know how some people have like 20 cents per square foot, $1 and change per square foot, because also it matters on the amount of cleaning you're going to do per square foot, right? So if you're just fogging, it might be less, or if you do maybe per square foot of more thorough cleaning, it might be more, but if you could just share with the audience how that works.
Of course. So as always, the price will vary depending upon the severity of the case. But just a general wrap around your head kind of pricing, I'd be inclined to toss out about maybe 55 cents a square foot for ESS services.
Sounds good. Thank you. Okay. And you can continue on again because there's no more questions.
Okay. So as I was saying, we have our Virex 2 bottle inside our office. We use it probably a little more than we should, but we use it to clean tables, and that is our product of choice as well on site. So when we instill these enhanced cleaning procedures and protocols at a site, we'll bring that along with us as well. So other than that, we're a one-stop shop kind of place. ABM's janitorial, we do everything from stripping, waxing floors to ESS services, and that's kind of what a lot of stores now are requesting. Retail stores, they've kind of asked us to strip the floors, and then as soon as we're done with that, go straight into enhanced clean. We did a store out in Pearl City, and they're very, very pleased with it. They receive a high amount of traffic as they are a detailed chemical supplying store for vehicles. And we went through them one time, and they're pleased, and they welcomed us back the next time. So if we have any more questions, I mean, ESS is rather simple. It is an apparatus as well as a service. I've explained exactly pretty much how it works, the ins and outs of the system. So if anybody has any questions, no question is dumb, I assure you. When I was learning this thing, I was literally asking the dumbest questions in the world. So please ask the questions and we'll be more than happy to answer.
Actually have one more coming in. So is ESS safe on clothing? For example, if ESS is used in a retail clothing store, does merchandise have to be removed?
So we would essentially ask the merchandise if they would feel okay moving the merchandise. But if it was a little bit difficult, such as they have like clothing racks upon clothing racks and those big circular ones we all used to hide in as kids, we would mix our solutions and ensure our dilution ratios are correct and safe for those shirts. Because otherwise, if you do mix it a little strong, yes, you will bleach out the shirt and it'll look like chlorine was splattered on your shirt and just bleached out. So we do have the proper mixing and dilution ratios for retail clothing as well.
Yeah, not everybody's into that tie-dye look, right? The Clorox, no. Okay, looks like that's all the questions for now. If you want to kind of continue on, you still have a few minutes.
Sure. So, okay, if we're going to continue on a little bit more, we've talked about this guy, the handheld, and we can talk about the big guy, the big little guy, if you will. So it is a bigger apparatus because it is a backpack. This holds about 2 gallons of solution and water. So it also comes with a proper strainer at the top, which you should leave in all the time, especially when you're filling up liquids and water. You don't know what's in there. So we'll screw that back on, but this comes off super easy. Just flip this top piece forward, lift it up, pull forward, comes out just like that. And then put it back in, same thing. It's as funny as it sounds, this unit is actually very comfortable to wear. It feels like a backpack, just like as if you're going to school. It does have a width, if you will, which is cables, one for the solution and one for the electricity as well. The battery is housed in this compartment right here. And there's also a push down and pull out, like you just saw. And the on-off button is on the side. And then it'll tell us where we're at as far as battery goes. So it really makes ESS spraying and conducting the service so much easier when you have 2 people, because you can cover that much more square footage that much faster. So a lot of people will request for 2 technicians, 2 certified level 2 disinfection specialists to kind of go through there, because it's more efficient to kind of just whack all the different corners, as well as if they have products and other products such as cups or whatnot lying around. I will say though that if you do have glass, really like transparent glass, it might be nice afterwards as a service, which we do conduct, to go afterwards after the product has dwelled and had the proper kill time, to go through it one time and just wipe down the glass. Many ESS sprayers, they'll go through it one time and they'll say, okay, we're done. And afterwards, you'll kind of see it on the glass, like tiny little water spots. We notice them because we're in the business. Some people might notice it might look kind of foggy to them, but it's always good service to kind of just wipe it down. It's glass, so that way you have clear view for glass.
No, definitely. Okay.
Oh, that's a big question. Cool.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I've actually. Okay. Have you applied ESS in commercial kitchens and restaurants? Is the kitchen equipment ready to use after ESS application, or do we have to do another cleaning after ESS for food safety?
So for majority of the applications that we have conducted, as well as ones that our teams on the mainland have done, kitchen equipment really would require them to kind of go through it one more time, but it's no different from them doing the normal procedures. So say for instance, a restaurant had possible oops kind of case. Our team would go in, we would ESS everything out, and of course they would have to wipe down their silverware and everything once again to make it look shiny. They would have to clean it once again. And on top of that, it would also provide extra cleaning, because some people, they say that dishwashing is safer than hand washing only because the temperature that dishwashers get to can kill more bacteria. So what we're essentially doing is we're helping them with that bacteria, and then when they put it in their dishwasher or when they have their dishwasher wash their plates, etc., pots and pans, etc., it'll be that much cleaner for them. So it is our recommendation that they do clean it once again after we go through their restaurant kitchen.
Right, better to be safe than sorry.
I agree 100%.
Okay, looks like that if you want to continue on, you can. I don't see any other questions.
Sure. What was that one that just popped up? What was that? Oh, that was the food one. The restaurant
It was
kitchen.
a continuation of the clothing.
Oh my God. I saw a big question. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so with this backpack system, it is very kind of finicky in a sense where you have to be very careful with how you plug it in. So what we'll always say is we'll plug in electronics first and disengage the electronics first as well. So the only reason why is because this is a very thin kind of cable compared to the hose that is significantly bigger. So when you plug it in, there's a little bit of a click. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let me try and put it. No, I barely heard that. So I don't think you folks are going to hear the click. I apologize. And then this one goes in here, like so. And then this connects to the backpack. And that is pretty much easy in how the ESS system works for the backpack system. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. Good to know.
So I don't see any more questions popping up.
Yeah. One last, is there any other questions that you would like to ask Philip and his team? They're highly certified, as you mentioned, I guess from 4 a.m. and I don't know how many months of training you guys had. So that seems very thorough. I trust you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's see. If there's no more questions, maybe Philip, you can circle back with people to reach out to you directly, if that's okay.
Yes, of course. So I believe is it posted on the flyer? No, my contact information.
I'm not too sure. I don't think so. But this is recorded, so this will be posted on the BOMA website as well too.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we received a question from our in-house engineer just to kind of help kick things off just a little bit more. He asked, does the AC need to be off when we're conducting ESS services? The answer is no. It does not need to be turned off. So just in case buildings are wondering.
Oh, right, because of just the temperature and also like maybe the wind or something like that. Okay, yeah. And then BOMA Hawaii can also send out your contact information as well too. So we can do that after this presentation. So, sounds Perfect. Good. Are there any internal questions on your side or any last questions to the rest of the audience before we wrap up? Okay, well, if not, I guess this concludes today's program on electrostatic spray, brought to you by BOMA Hawaii November Platinum sponsor, ABM. So on behalf of BOMA Hawaii, I would like to thank ABM and especially you, Philip, for taking the time to share with us this valuable information. Last but not least, thank you to everyone who attended today's webinar. Please visit bomahawaii.com for upcoming events and resources. And thank you and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.